Here we are then, Thames side, as the sun is shining once again in London. It's actually, I won't say once again, it's been a pretty naff summer, but yeah, last few days, geez, I think, well, the next couple are going to be pretty intense, I think, temperature-wise. I'll do a proper video later in terms of going back, going through a bit more detail in terms of X's update recently on the transfers. But I just want to bring a couple of bits. Firstly, the kit. So the kit, we're expecting the home kit, I think it's going to be released possibly this week, as that's the update from X. We haven't got a definitive date on it. It might be next week, but we think it could be this week as well. So we don't really quite know exactly when the date is. But that's going to be the home kit that's going to first come out. So we talked about this. I think it's going to be based on the 1965 Cup Winners' Cup kit. And it's going to have I've talked about this previously, the white shorts, white socks, love that, love the traditional thing, so quite looking forward to seeing that. There's a bit of controversy, of course, around the kits though, because Hammers United and other organisations are putting together, which many fans are backing, and myself included, with regards to a sort of boycotting of the purchasing of the kit and also boycotting the Betway Cup attendance. I totally understand it. I also understand as well there are people that are a bit torn with this, and when they say torn with it, they want to go and purchase the kit because it might be for their children and things like that. So look, I think as well, I do understand both sides completely, but at the end of the day, I think it's completely valid for the right reasons in terms of the protest, because, and this is regarding the concession tickets that the club have now abolished, basically. So it's wrong. It's wrong on every level. I mean, I for one, I'm in a situation personally where I want to be taking, our eldest daughter next season to her first couple of games. You know what I mean? I want to bring her along. It's just wrong. It's football greed, in my opinion. I've talked about this before, and I can't stand it. I think it's just, you look at Germany. In terms of the Bundesliga, a league that has minimal in terms of what the Premier League brings in terms of TV money and revenue, okay, like miles behind. The Premier League is the richest league in football by a long distance, and the fact is it's still not enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, we have to now try and, it's like the fans are being kicked once again. It's wrong. I just do not understand it. And also as well, I was reading that they are now in the Bundesliga not only giving away cheap season tickets in terms of compared to Premier League prices, they also take into account people's earnings. So if you don't earn as much money, they get discounts on that to allow them to go to football games. They've just got it right. They look after the fans. They're the priority. Whereas I just feel like in this country, it's the opposite. It's just greed. You know what I mean? It's so wrong. It's so wrong. Really disappointing, and I totally understand why people are now upset and angry over it, and effectively are looking to boycott purchasing the kit, and also, as I say, go to the Betway Cup game, which is going to be sort of later in the summer. So in terms of the football, then there's a couple of things I want to talk about. Koné of Watford, 22-year-old, who's a midfielder. He plays for Canada. He's out in the Copa America at the moment. He is a key target now, and more so the fact that we've had the injury to Edson Alvarez. I think that sort of ramped up the importance of us getting this deal done as soon as we can. So I think there's real concrete interest there. As far as we understand it from X, is that negotiations are now underway, and we're hoping to get the player secured. Obviously, he's been excellent for Watford last season in the Championship, and he's a standout player and someone we've admired for a while. It looks like we're going to be making a move for him, so he could well be sort of a new look midfield for us next season. Kind of brings question marks, doesn't it, on Thomas Soucek. We talked about this actually on the West Ham Way on the website. And actually I talked about it as well in the previous video, didn't I, with regards to his future, and James Ward-Prowse as well. Certain players that are just unsure where they're going to fit in now under the new manager, and the fact he's bringing in a new key midfielder, central midfielder, is kind of indicating that there could be some big changes coming. But yeah, so Koné of Watford is a key target, and hopefully one that we can start getting some positive news on soon. There is a bit of negative news before I wrap this video up, and that's on Ben Johnson. So it seems that there's been another twist in that. It seemed that Johnson was very close to signing a new 5-year contract. We felt that it was imminent, that it was going to be done. It seems to be going in the right direction. It's not to say it won't happen, but as far as you understand it, Ipswich have now put a proposal towards Johnson, and also Crystal Palace have upped their offer to him, and he's now seriously considering those again as well. So what we understand it with Johnson is that he's going to make a decision in the coming days. So we're expecting that to get wrapped up and agreed one way or another, whether he's going to be departing or not. Speaking to X, I think at this stage the feeling is that he's probably going to go, which is going to be a big blow. I think West Ham really cocked up here. Should have got this deal wrapped up a long time ago. We shot ourselves in the foot, but no one else to blame as far as I'm concerned. It's West Ham once again sitting on their hands, not getting a decision done. The dilly-dallying I talked about has always hampered this football club. With dilly-dally, didn't want to give him a deal, we weren't sure about the wages. And then 11th hour, we then come to the party, do you know what I mean, offer him something decent, and now it's like it's too late. Well, he's already had conversations with other clubs. We could have just done this a little while ago. It's really frustrating, really is, and I'm very annoyed that we're in this position. But that's not to say he won't sign the deal, but it does feel at the moment that it's looking more likely he's going to depart. But as I say, then so kits we're expecting this week for the home kit, possibly this week. Koné from Watford is going to be a key target, it feels, and talks are progressing with him. Hopefully, we might be able to get a firm bid in soon, and they'll get that sort of move in. And then, of course, as I say, Ben Johnson, we're going to find out in the next coming days whether he stays or whether he goes. Come on, you ones.